I'm Bruce Marshall. This is the Brampton Now Update for the May 29th, 30th weekend 2021. Coming up, the case numbers are showing signs that the chief medic likes. Plus, we're setting records for vaccination administration. Talk of a return to school before summer. We'll dig a bit into that issue too. A frigid Friday giving way to seasonable weather over the weekend. The full current Brampton forecast is at the link in description. This is the Brampton Now Update. Here's what's happening in Brampton. The two measures that matter right now. The rates of hospitalization is one. Where are we there, Dr. Lowe?
Our hospital picture is also slowly stabilizing, though admissions are still volatile, with numbers fluctuating daily. Local hospitals and ICUs still have many admitted patients, which is necessitating continued transfers and pauses on surgeries.
And the flip side to that is vaccination. Where are we on that note?
On that note, our vaccination program continues to hit milestones here in the region of Peel. On Monday, we surpassed 1 million doses administered. Today, we are rapidly approaching 70% first dose coverage for our 18-plus population. I anticipate that milestone to be confirmed today or in the days to come. And that also includes 75% first dose coverage for those aged 50 and over half of our 18 to 49 with first doses.
And as the doc notes, we have a number more clinics opening up, including the massive hockey arena iteration now open at the CAA Centre.
Today, supported by 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺, we are opening at the CAA Centre in Brampton, starting with a vaccine hub focused on youth. This hub will support our continued efforts to provide first dose protection to those aged 12 to 17 in our community.
If you haven't had your first jab.
So in the meantime, I urge all of our residents, if you have not yet received your first dose, please visit peelregion.ca/COVID-19 vaccine to learn about all our offerings and to book today. For those of you who have had their first dose, thank you. And please stand by for further information on how to get your second shot. And finally, please continue to follow the precautions and stay safe as we attempt to bring all of this acute phase of the pandemic to a conclusion.
I should mention, too, the Region Vaccination website is where you'll find information on all the clinics going on in Peel Region. In a moment, reopening of schools being considered before summer break. A look at what the health officials are saying about that. Next on the Brampton Now Update.
Canadians are dying of overdoses every day. Stigma is making it harder for people to get help. Addiction is a treatable medical condition, not a choice. Help end the stigma. A message from the Government of Canada.
There are some things you just don't do halfway. Fighting COVID-19 is one of them. As vaccines roll out, let's keep giving this our all and continue to follow public health measures. A message from the Government of Canada.
This is the Brampton Now Update. I'm Bruce Marshall. While the Premier is playing cautious on the idea of reopening schools, Peel's chief medic has been cautiously supportive of getting some school time in before summer break.
I'm hopeful that with first dose coverage for teachers and for the students of these ages, this will ensure that our youngest residents are able to eventually derive the benefits of in-person learning sooner rather than later.
Lowe joined a number of medics at the city and provincial health levels to suggest a strong consideration for reopening schools. Here's what I believe the medics would like. Schools open. And schools alone. Ride that wave. We have to learn about this as we go in some cases. But don't open anything else until we have mastered the issues around schools, some of which may not even be known yet. The medics have always recommended a slow, methodical, step-by-step process. So good of the Premier to take his time over this important decision, but also important is that this time he listens rather to the chief medics. Take it slowly, methodically, and step by step. Idiots driving badly has been a constant theme through the pandemic. A benchmark reached this past Wednesday when a 29-year-old Brampton resident, 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺, was charged by OPP with a slew of charges, including attempted murder, when 𝗕𝗺𝗺 is alleged to have used his vehicle as a weapon. The incident happened in Toronto at Langstaff and Jane, but isn't far different from many of the idiot driver scenarios that we've seen here in Brampton and we seem to put up with on a regular basis. Interesting to note that a person of the same name was also charged days earlier in that kidnapping in Mississauga in April that saw 7 people charged by Peel police. The party referenced in the attempt murder charge by OPP has now been charged with a further bunch of charges to do with drugs and weapons. This would normally be the time of year for garbage exemptions in Peel, where you can put out whatever you want at the curb for a set period of time and it'll be picked up. Often used by people to get rid of stuff left over from spring cleaning. While the exemption period is canceled again, we can put out 2 extra bags of garbage per garbage day through to June 25th. In a moment, the city of Brampton marked the year since George Floyd's passing and the movement that has resulted with an online event featuring some of our brilliant young agents of social change. More on that next on the Brampton Now Update.
Is going to a party really worth it? Putting yourself at risk puts everyone at risk. Help limit the spread of COVID-19.
The region of Peel, leaving the scene knowing every one of them could have been avoidable. Please, take the pledge.
I'm Bruce Marshall. This is the Brampton Now Update. The city of Brampton hosted an online event Tuesday night to mark a year since the murder of George Floyd at the hands of a police officer and the movement that has resulted. A number of Brampton youth of diverse backgrounds presented about their experience over the past year. The group of young women who were the key organizers of Brampton for BLM movement were recognized for the peaceful and moving work that they've done in raising awareness. Dr. Hugh Anthony provided the keynote, and Gwen Chapman, Senior Advisor on Anti-Black Racism and Economic Empowerment at the City of Brampton, interviewed renowned civil rights and human rights lawyer Ben Crump. Crump has been the well-known family lawyer to the George Floyd family, among the families of others who have died at the hands of law enforcement in the United States. And that's the Brampton Now Update for this week. Please hit the subscribe button on the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube at the link in comments, or follow #MarshallMinute. The Brampton Now Update, your weekly reliable source for all things Brampton. Your comments and suggestions always welcome, and if you've got a Brampton story to tell, get in touch with me through the channel you're watching on right now. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching Brampton Now Update.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.